Hey guys, here in the southern Philippines, and today I wanted to talk about some things that just have surprised me, shocked me. I didn't expect in the Philippines that you would never see back in the West. So I've lived here now for over half a year. It's the longest I've ever been in the Philippines. It's the second longest I've lived anywhere outside of the United States during one stretch. And what I've found living in places, and especially this time in the Philippines, is that the more you live in a place that is different from your culture, the more things that you find culturally and things they do that are just so different from where you come from. Not in a bad way, not in a good way, just different. And it really fascinates me, some of the differences that I actually see. So I kind of want to talk about that today and get into it.
I'm trying to make this darkness go away.
So there's basically four things that I have found that they're just so different. I don't understand them in some ways, or you would just never see them back where I come from. It's just a difference in culture, and it's one of the reasons that I travel is so that I can discover other cultures, and some things are better, some things are worse, and some things are just a push. It's neither way, it's just different, but I'm fascinated by them and I want to understand them. So let's go to the first one, take a ride with me, and we'll explore.
Talking, the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly.
Might probably be super loud, sorry about that, but I want to show you. So when I came in down there,
Gonna go my way.
and then right here, there's all these tons of different pottery shops all over the side of the road. This is not just one big business. It's on both sides of the road. It runs for, I don't know, an eighth of a mile, maybe, with, 10, 15 of them. And there's not a single other pottery shop like anywhere else I see in this small town, in this province area. They're all bundled here right together beside each other, which is like, I don't know. I just don't get it. And they all seem to be selling pretty much the exact same stuff. I mean, I guess they're making it themselves or getting it themselves, but it all seems to be about the same stuff. So that's one example.
My eyes so I can see them.
So guys, what kills me about that is that I've seen places like that nearby as well. So on the way here between Davao and Digos, where I'm at, there's a line just as you get past the checkpoint of these people that are selling chicharron, which is like pork rinds. Just 20 vendors right there, back to back beside each other that pull up on their little motorcycle carts. And then the entire hour way back to Digos after that, you don't see another single one. They're all bunched up. You'll come to another place along there about halfway between the two cities, and there's this place that sells wooden, different shops all selling the same stuff. It's hand carved, like wooden stuff for lechon to put your pig on or to display on, different wooden bowls, just wooden cooking stuff. And there's like 20 or 30 shops right across the street from each other, right beside each other. And then there's not another one, not only in town when you get to the main town, but they're along the road. They all bunch up next to each other. And I see this over and over again. If you look at, I did a video here, I'll put some stuff up on screen, but the buku halo, the coconut stands. Again, I looked all over town, they were all bunched up like 6 stores right beside each other in a part of town, and you didn't see them anywhere else. And so I don't get it, I don't understand it, because I don't see this back in the West. And so what I try to wonder is, you know, why is this so? Why does this happen? Because I'm thinking, you know, maybe your brother lives next door to you and you've got, you know, that pottery shop. Well, yeah, you've been successful. Why doesn't he set up one of those wood cooking stands next door? And, you know, your cousin who's a street over or a stall over, why don't they sell the chicharron? And the next one over, sell the coconut juice and stuff. So you kind of diversify the incomes instead of all competing with one place and another. And I don't know if there's a legal reason for it or if there's a cultural reason for it. I honestly don't understand. I'm so curious, and I ask people about it and they just laugh at me. So I don't know, but I'm intent on finding the answer. And if you guys know the answer to it, I would really like to understand it, because it fascinates me. I don't know why it fascinates me. I guess because it's so different than the culture I come from. The only thing we have even similar to that is, I guess, in the town, the major metropolitan area where I live near, all the car dealerships are lined up near the airport, like a mile of car dealerships. So those are all bunched up, but that's the only place where I see basically the exact same industry all bunched up in one portion of town. So it's fascinating to me. I hope I figure it out. I'm sure that there's a reason for it, because I see this in different towns all around the Philippines.
Weight off my shoulders.
Guys, make sure if you like this content, you subscribe, hit the notification button. YouTube is always not showing my notifications anymore or putting things in people's feed. I've had a lot of people that have contacted me now telling me that. So if you want to see me again, make sure you check back occasionally to see if I've actually posted a video, because I may have put out videos for 2 weeks and you haven't seen them because YouTube's suppressing it. Also hit the like button if you like this content. We'll get right back into it. All right, next I'm gonna have to head over to the mall so I can show you what I found today, to get a picture of it because I forgot. And then we can talk about it once I get over there. So we'll see you in just a bit. So this is the sign that you see inside this mall for a jewelry shop that is getting ready to reopen, and it's for just a counter salesperson on there. And so they require that anybody applying has to be female, preferably unmarried, and also have a college degree, be enthusiastic and other things. But other than that, no other skills they will train. Now this is very much in the United States what would be considered an entry-level employment. But what shocks me about this is that in the US, you can have somebody in high school or with no high school diploma, anything, filling this role. It really doesn't require to have a college degree. But these entry-level positions here in the Philippines, because there are so few good jobs, I suppose, or starting jobs, that they do have a very, very qualified college-educated workforce. And just to get in the door at some of these places, just to be a cashier sometimes at a grocery store or a store at the mall, you got to have a college degree just to get in, whereas in the United States you wouldn't. And also what shocks me here is, so back in my country, in basically every state in the United States, this would be completely illegal under our laws to even ask some of these types of questions, let alone to hire just based on those criteria. Whereas in the Philippines, they don't have those types of laws, or if they do, I mean, obviously nobody's, if you're posting a billboard sign, you don't care about those, right? And it's just a matter of life. So it's kind of shocking coming from my culture and my background to see that. I'm not saying it's better, I'm not saying it's worse, I'm just saying it's really different. And you know, it's just kind of fascinating seeing how different countries have different requirements on there. All right, the last one, and I don't understand this. So at the very beginning of this video, you might have seen me a little distracted when I was talking. I was in that parking space talking. There was nothing behind me, tons of empty parking spaces. And I was, you know, giving my intro to this, and that car that I'll show you, that red one, came in and parked right beside the white one, which was like one of the only ones in the entire area. And in the entire parking lot, you can see this place. I'll show you back here. I mean, there's like 100 parking places to go. You can park anywhere. And you go right next to me, which I don't get that. And I see that happen all the time. I had talked about one of my other videos that years ago when I came to the Philippines, I went to a movie. First time I'd gone to a movie theater with my wife. And we went, and I can't even remember what we were watching, doesn't matter really. But we sat down, I sat down in the back of the theater, and then we were the first ones there, and these people came in literally and sat down right next to us in the seats. I'm not kidding you, not 2 or 3 down, it was right next to us. And then another group of people came in and they sat down in the seats directly in front of us. And there was like hundreds of seats in the theater and nobody was sitting in there, all sitting in one place. And it was just bizarre. And when I go out to eat, I'll be like the only one at a restaurant, and people will come in, there'll be 20 tables in, and they'll come, and it doesn't happen all the time, but I mean, it's enough that it's a trend. Sit down in the table right next to where I'm sitting. And I don't understand it. I asked, you know, some people about it, and they're like, with the movie theater, they're telling me they're worried about fire or something like that, but it doesn't explain parking. It doesn't explain those. So there's got to be a reason for it, and I don't know what that is, and I can't ever get a good answer, but enough people here do it that there's got to be some sort of upbringing or reasoning behind it, or just some sort of a thought process as to why people do it. I would love to know the answer to it, because I don't see that. I mean, people scatter like, you know, rats where I come from. Nobody wants to be near each other. So it's just the opposite. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. It's just, I don't understand it. So if you know, leave a comment below and help a guy out to understand this culture.
Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna